grief. Brutal. Brutal. When she left, I couldn't grieve. I couldn't even I couldn't even I couldn't even see her face. I had I had no feelings. I could feel nothing. And the Lord provided for me by giving me a companion, a distant companion. And I can see the wisdom in that. And yeah, she was she was something. She was a beautiful friend, companion. I grief, grief, and now that I can see God's hand because almost to the day when I finally decided that the companionship that He had provided was not to be available to me anymore. My my sister-in-law died, which I then got a call from Cheryl, and so she left. Cheryl left in August, and Trish came into my life in September, and that was a beautiful gift. I didn't, and then when it became clear that Trish wasn't going to continue to be available, my sister-in-law died, and Cheryl came not really back into my life. She's not, but she had to make contact, and that has forced me to feel. And I can see why. I can see why God brought Trish into my life um, because otherwise I think it would have killed me. Would have killed me. It still may. Sorry. I'm doing this publicly so that you'll have a real faith journey for your support, your comfort when you go through it, if you go through it. God forbid that you have to go through it. So Jan passing has opened up my heart, and now I remember. Now I can feel how much I loved her, how much I loved Cheryl. And the loss, it's just loss. Don't think that grief is weakness. It's not. Tears, it's not. It's not weakness. It's strength. To feel it, get through it. There's nothing to say. I've said everything that I can say to Cheryl. There's nothing I can say. I have, there's nothing. It's in God's hands. I put it into God's hands. I put myself into God's hands. I put the grief into God's hands. It's funny. I feel very close to Jan because it feels like dying. It feels like dying. And it feels like Jan's death has sort of given me, opened the door to grieving the loss of what was my family. Very small family, but it was still my family. It was the three of us, Jan and me and Trish. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so sweet, so simple. Anyway, I think that it's what I'm to do is to make these videos, record my faith journey in this darkest of dark times, so that when they end, you'll have a guide to walk, so that you can walk through it. What matters is, it's very difficult to do. It's so difficult to do, but to keep your thoughts on Christ, keep your thoughts on Jesus, looking at Jesus, keep your thoughts on Him, trust Him, even though it doesn't look it doesn't look like a feasible option. It seems like a absurd option. Everything seems absurd in grief. Everything seems absurd. Everything. Life seems absurd. I want to do what Jan did. I just want to lay in my bed and watch TV like she did. That's all she did. She just laid in her bed or laid on her couch and watched TV until she passed. And I can see that God has put me in a very similar place. Jan and I have been in a very similar place in the last 4 months. The last 4 months of her life, she was there alone watching TV, and I've been here alone watching TV. It was the most beautiful moment of my life, that little three-person clique, when we would go over there and sit with her. And I've lost both of them. Look, this is not self-pity, just so you're clear, okay? This is not self-pity. I am doing something that should be done and kept privately, but I am an artist and I'm a poet, and I am providing you with the poet. There's plenty of poetry. Plenty of poetry. You want the poetry, go to my Facebook or Twitter, X, whatever it's called. There's plenty of poetry to find. But I'm providing you with access to the poet. So, and may the Lord make my life a poem. I'm sick and tired of writing. I'm sick and tired of writing. And don't think that I used Trish. I didn't. It was sincere. I was sincere. That was sincere. A man is capable of loving more than one woman. Perhaps women are capable of loving more than one man, I don't know. But men typically can. And quite honestly, I just went numb. I felt nothing except just denial, I guess. Denial. But now, with Trish having left to pursue her own course, the shock of Jan's death and hearing Cheryl's voice, it has reconnected me to the tragedy. And rather than sitting over there watching TV, I am sitting over here making videos for posterity so that there's a record. There's a record. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. There's depths of grief where there is no comfort. There's nothing you can do or say or read. It's it's then that the faith that you have established previously sort of works automatically on your behalf, because you can't create, a makeshift faith on the fly, because there are some injuries, there's some griefs, some injuries that are too painful to pray about. They're just injury, and there's nothing you can do about it except, like Jan, lay on the couch and watch TV and hope you don't die. And if you do die, hope that Christ will meet you. Christ will either intervene or he will take you home and one way or another resolve it. Sooner rather than later, Lord, please. I can't live like this. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I hate to turn. I don't want to turn it off. I don't want to turn it off. There's some comfort in doing this. There's some comfort in it. There's some comfort in it. Funny thing is I'm not angry. I'm just not. All I want is for the family to be restored.